Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure is one of the most popular rides in all of not just Orlando, but the world. And considering that, you would assume that Universal doesn't really need to do much else with this ride outside of just regular maintenance because it's already done. It's popular. What else can you do? Well, it turns out that Universal is doing some things to help with the ride capacity and overall guest experience with this attraction. So today we're going to check out a video that outlines all the things that Universal is doing and what this can mean for the park going forward. So, hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic, and let's get right into this. And before we get into exactly what Universal is doing to help with the ride capacity and overall guest experience with this ride, we know that Hagrid's is very popular, considering a couple of things. First off, we can look at the theme park database here and see that it is the fifth most popular theme park in the entire world. And also, inside of that is Hagrid's. And the average wait times we can see here on this attraction basically go from anywhere to 74 minutes all the way up to 160 minutes on average. Pretty typical to see this about 90-minute wait times. And I can tell you, having been in the park and are wanting to ride this, if you ever see it during the day dip down to around 60-minute wait time, it's going to jump right back up to 90 because it is that popular. Literally from the time the park opens till the park closes, it is in high demand. And because of that, again, you would assume Universal doesn't need to do anything else. It's done. They already spent $300 million building it. And, not many other places would even think about why put more money into something that is already a success. Well, Universal is doing just that. And I have a video here from El Toro Ryan that outlines this. I suggest go watch his video. There's a link to this in the description on the video here after we watch this one. It's only about 5 minutes long. It's a really good video, so go check it out. But we're going to watch a clip here that outlines the issue with this ride and what Universal's doing to fix it.
So here's the current problem. I've got Hagrid's pulled up here on Google Earth, and I've seen a few people online actually question where the maintenance bay is on Hagrid's. So taking a look at the coaster here, we have the unload station here, then there's a left turn into the load station here, and once you're dispatched from the station, you take this 180-degree right-hand turnaround that leads into the ride's first launch. Now if we take a quick step backwards, there's actually a track switch right here to the left, and you can notice that here in this POV. That track switch leads into this building here, and this is the maintenance bay for Hagrid's. From what I understand, there's enough track space in here to store 7 trains. However, because of the way that trains need to be inspected, they can only put 6 trains in here overnight, as they need extra space to move trains around so that they can perform all their inspections. So you think that, okay, they could cycle 6 trains in here, and once they're finished with those 6, they could cycle them off the track and then pull in the other 4, and then inspect those as well, and then get all the trains back on the track before the ride opens up in the morning, as you'd think the ride crew would have all night. Well, apparently that's not the case, because this ride is so complicated and there's...
Now, I do want to point out, this ride is very complicated, so if you've never ridden it, it has about 7 launches, has many moving parts, lots of animatronics, a lot of audio cues along with it. There's a part where you go backwards, there's a part where you drop down onto another part of the track. It has a lot of moving parts to it. And I'm sure that this ride is probably one of the most highly in demand or needed maintenance and constant upkeep to keep it running and functioning optimally. Just want to point that out.
So many things going on. The maintenance team has to lock out the ride, which means that none of the trains that are stored in the maintenance bay overnight can be swapped out for trains that are still on the main track. And this swap can't occur until all of the testing and inspections of the main circuit are complete. So what'll happen is the inspection of the ride will continue basically all night into the morning, and only shortly before the ride would open for the morning is when these trains can be swapped between the maintenance bay and the ones that are still on the main track. Then the remaining trains that haven't been inspected yet can undergo their inspection. But because this happens so close to when the ride is supposed to open in the morning, oftentimes the ride will not open with all 10 trains available. Sometimes you'll see 6, 7, 8, 9, or sometimes they get all 10 trains, but a lot of the time they don't. So the real problem is that this maintenance building needs to be bigger. And that's apparently what the upgrade is that Universal is doing to Hagrid's right now, which again is something they're spending tens of millions of dollars on. And then if you take a look, they're pretty much landlocked. There's really not much else room to expand here. And then this building right here is actually a maintenance building for Forbidden Journey. And I believe this is where ride vehicles are cycled off for Forbidden Journey to undergo their annual rebuilds. So as part of this project, from what I understand, they actually removed this building here for Forbidden Journey, and they had to make space somewhere else on the resort in order to do the annual refurbs for the Forbidden Journey vehicles. I believe this has already been completed and construction is now started on expanding the maintenance bay for Hagrid's. And with this expansion, it will allow for all 10 trains on Hagrid's to be parked in the maintenance bay overnight, where they can then all go through their inspections trains, which would greatly increase the likelihood that all 10 trains will be ready to go in the morning, and Hagrid's won't have to open at limited capacity anymore.
So that's outlining the issue there. So basically, what Universal the issue is this ride is so popular they don't have enough cars first thing in the morning. So if you've never experienced this early, if you get an early park access for if you're an AP or staying on Universal property, or just even first thing in the morning and park open, everyone will go to this ride. This is the most popular ride in all of Universal for sure. So right off the bat, first thing in the morning, high demand. Most rides don't require, most theme park rides in general are not going to require full capacity right first thing in the morning, because typically, at Rope Drop, it's not the highest amount of crowds you're going to see all day long. The peak of that's going to be midday. So typically, if a ride's running, at half capacity or something like that first thing in the morning, it's not that big of a deal. But with Hagrid's, given its high demand, it's an issue because you have high demands right off the bat, which sets up the ride already trying to play catch up all day long. So what Universal's doing here is trying to alleviate that by, again, spending $10 to $20 million on top of what they've already spent for this ride to expand that maintenance bay area so they can work, because, again, so much maintenance and things go into this, so they can have all this stuff ready to go first thing in the morning. That could help alleviate a lot of the crowds first thing in the morning. Now, I think a couple of reasons they may be doing this. First off, so as of right now, Express Pass is not part of this ride, but it will be in the future. So this could be a way, if they can get that capacity up whenever they do implement Express Pass, it won't negatively affect the standby line as much, given that it can run at full capacity. That could be one reason. The other reason could be it's already in high demand. It's already having high wait times, and that's before Epic Universe opens, which is going to be opening probably in early 2025, which is going to bring a lot more people to Universal in general. And those people aren't only going to go to Epic Universe. Most or a lot of them are also going to visit the existing parks, as Universal is openly said they're trying to get people to choose Universal over Disney World for a week-long vacation. I'm sure they're going to run specials and try and get people in. And given Hagrid's is popular, Velocicoaster is popular, Islands of Adventure is already popular, you're going to have people want to go over here as well. So with the increased people coming to Universal in general, you will want more capacity on this ride to handle those crowds, so you don't see wait times jumping up into astronomical heights, and having more guest satisfaction. So I think this is a bit preemptively trying to help with that, instead of waiting until Epic Universe opens and then reacting to that and trying to play catch up. They're they're trying to be proactive about this, which I give them a lot of credit for doing. Most theme parks are not going to do this. I don't recall ever hearing of other theme parks doing this. And given they've already spent $300 million to build this ride, them spending another $10 to $20 million, while in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to, Comcast and Universal, isn't that much money. That's still a good amount of money that they technically, if you look at the situation, they don't necessarily need to do, because they could leave this alone and just say, hey, it's high demand. People look on the app and see it's high wait time. Like, a lot of times, I know Disney does this, where they like to see those high wait times, because that means, oh, it's in demand and our parks are super slammed. But instead, they're taking the approach here of guest experience. Let's get more people to be able to experience this ride, more people throughout the day. I give them a lot of credit for doing it, because, again, that money could be used towards something else that they could advertise to the public, that, hey, go check out this new attraction or whatever the case may be, because more than likely they're never going to talk about this. They're not going to put a press release out. You're not going to see teaser videos like they've done with Epic Universe about the fact that Hagrid's has a bigger maintenance bay and now more people can ride it and the wait times may be lower. You're never going to see that. So most people are never going to even know that they've done this. But the idea here is that more people can ride it, and guest satisfaction is the priority with this. So I give them a lot of credit for this, and I love to see it. So again, go check out El Toro Ryan's video on this. It's in the link in the description. And that is going to be it for this video. So be sure, if you like this video, like it, subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture news over here. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about this? Are you impressed that Universal is doing this? Do you think this is going to help with wait times, or do you think it's just not going to make that much of a difference? Either way, let us know in the comments. And until next time, we will see you in the parks.